Okay, we're making chai tea, and the ingredients are cinnamon sticks, probably one of those. I've got some ginger, fennel seed, black pepper, and this is the tea. I get it from the Indian store. I don't even have the uh, the wrapper, but that's what it looks like. I have another one right here. It says Indian spices. I think I actually got that from India when I was in there, when I was in India. So, and then I'm going to put some cardamom pods and some clove. So those are the ingredients I'm going to put in first into the pan. So we'll start the burner and throw in some of this yummy stuff, ghee. So the ghee is going to be for just getting the aromatics to start to pop and get the yumminess out of all the spices. Okay. Now, if you have a mortar and pestle, I would put these ingredients in the mortar and pestle and just grind them up. I don't have that, so I'm just going to put them in, and the amount, so probably on the cloves, I'm going to put in, I'm making a quart, by the way, so I might start with about 6 or 8, so that's 6 or 8 cloves. I'm going to drop those in there, and they're starting to sizzle already. And then my cardamom, I'll probably just put the whole thing in there. Those are whole cardamoms, 8 to 10, maybe that many. If I had cummin seed, I would put it in. I do not have cummin seed at the moment, so I'm going to use fennel. And I like black pepper. I just love the taste of black pepper. It gives it kind of a real spicy taste. So I'll do a half a tablespoon. I don't know if you can see that. Half a tablespoon of pepper. I'll throw that in. Yeah. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. The ground ginger, so probably about an inch, and then you're going to peel it. And I like to dice mine up because the flavor is better. I'm going to put that in. Add the ginger. I like a lot of ginger. You don't need that much, but I like a lot of ginger. Okay, so we're starting to really smell some flavors. Oh, I do have nutmeg too. That's a whole, I'm going to have to shred it. So, I'm going to put a whole cinnamon stick and I'll just break it up. No, I won't. Okay, later. And fennel. So, probably about a teaspoon of fennel. Tell I am not on the cooking host show because I'm really not doing great. That's actually a half a tablespoon. That's a little more than a teaspoon. I'm going to stir that all up. So I'm just mixing it for about a minute, and all I'm doing is getting the flavors to break out and start to smell the aromatics in that. Okay. I'll add the nutmeg very last because I need to grate it. So now, once those are going, I'm going to add some water. And I have already boiled this water, so it's pretty hot. I'm putting it in, and it is actually a quart of water. Now to every quart of water, you're going to add 2 cups of milk at the end. You don't put the milk in while you're doing the tea. So the water's going to get in there, and it's already close to boiling. So I'm going to add my tea. I'm just going to do about, maybe a couple tablespoons. So those are half tablespoons. I'm going to put a little bit more in. There we go. Yeah. So about 2 tablespoons for a quart. You see it getting a little bit black, and I'm going to let it steep for 15 minutes. And then I'm going to use oat milk today. I really prefer to use almond milk that's homemade. I don't have any on hand, so the oat milk, I'll put 2 cups when I am finished with steeping the tea. So once all of this is steeped, and you can see on the edges it's already starting to boil, I'm going to put the lid on once it starts really boiling, and I'm going to let it boil for about 15 minutes. And then I'll strain it back into its container, and then add a little bit of maple syrup. I typically don't like mine very sweet, but chai is made with sugar, and most chai is made with like a half a cup of sugar. That's way too much sugar, in my opinion. So I'm going to put maybe a couple tablespoons of maple syrup, and possibly on here I've got a couple tablespoons of organic coconut sugar. So I'm going to use the coconut sugar. I'm going to put it in right now. I just remembered. Okay, see that? See how it's golden in there? You want that color, that gold, deep, rich, dark color. That's the right amount of tea, and that's going to boil. I'm going to put the sugar right in right now, and because I don't like it really sugary, that's about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. We'll see how that pans out, and if I need to sweeten it a little bit more, if it's not to your liking, you can always sweeten it a little bit more. So there you have it. It's going to steep for 15 minutes. And then I will strain it. I actually have a tea strainer, so it has to be very, very thin. And I'll show you what that looks like. So you can do something like this. And I have a big size one that's very, very fine. And I can put it right into a quart jar and strain it. And then I'll put it back in here and heat it up with the milk. Now this is going to boil down a little bit, so you won't end up with a whole quart, especially after some of the spices have soaked up the water, and then you don't put the spices in, right? You're going to strain the spices out. So it's a little less than a quart when all is said and done. And then you put the oat milk in, or whatever milk, regular milk. It can be any milk that you like. I prefer organic, everything. And organic, I like nut milk. Okay, so we're just going to let it steep for about 10 more minutes. And I'll have a yummy chai that I can now refrigerate what I don't drink, and then I'll just heat it back up on a low setting so I don't ruin the milk in it, but I'll just Do it at a low setting. Oh, by the way, coconut milk works really well. Almond milk works really well. And I think most people are going to prefer regular milk, but they're all yummy. Enjoy your chai.